Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Pinarski here with the News 8 Live Desk. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Curiosity may have killed the cat, but thankfully for us, we are not cats, and you are actually going to need to be quite curious in order to explore an incredible event coming to Grand Rapids this weekend. It is the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, and it's coming to DeVos Place, and we are now being joined by one of the organizers behind this expo, Michelle Casalio. Michelle, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be back in Grand Rapids.
Of course, yeah. No, I'm not. We are super stoked about this event. I mean, even just seeing the photos, hearing about some of the past events you guys have held, and just how incredible it is, and really a unique experience. So I guess my first question for you is, how did you guys even come up with this expo in the first place, and really, how did it all get started for you guys?
Yeah, so my husband Tony and I, we created the expo in 2017 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where we're from. And I say where we're from. That's where I'm from. Tony's actually from Grand Rapids. So that's why Grand Rapids is super special to us. And I love coming up here because we get to see family, we get to do the show, and it's like super fun. So we started it in Tulsa though. And when we started it, it was only because like I personally love like strange, unusual items. I already organized this other smaller event that was featuring like smaller artists and like music related merchandise and stuff like that. So I kind of knew what I was doing, but not like to this level at all. And so for my personal love of all things strange and unusual, we were like, what if we did an event that was focusing on like oddities and dark art and stuff like that and see what happens? And like honestly, I could have never dreamed that this would be where it is now. And it just like absolutely blew up. And I dove in head first with it and continued to grow it and, you know, make different connections in the oddities world and things like that. And so it's so funny to look back on. It was like, oh, I just thought like, you know, me and my friends would trade weird stuff. And instead just like thousands of people came. So pretty funny story.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like
absolutely. And, just being, about 7 years out from really the inception of this and just seeing how it's grown. I mean, you said it yourself, you never thought it would get to this level. Can you even kind of grasp just how popular this thing has become and how you guys are just able to travel all across the country, meeting new people and just kind of spreading this love of the curious things and oddities in the world?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like an amazing feeling, and my favorite part about it is going to each city and like bringing like the community together because I mean, like I grew up like in punk and hardcore and I just always had colorful hair and tattoos and piercings and so it's like, you know, like weird kid vibes. And it's like this is literally for all of those people. And so it's so cool to see everyone come together and like meet people that they have been friends with on the internet or finally see their favorite artist that they found online. And everyone just comes and hangs out and is basically surrounded by people who are just like them. And like that is like the coolest part to me about doing this. And I mean, we started, you know, in Oklahoma and slowly grew it over the years. And now we're in 30 states or 30 different cities in the United States, one in Canada, and four in Australia. So it's just like really cool to just like bring all the weirdos together. That's the whole
Right.
point of it.
Right. No, and the title itself, I mean, the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, I mean, that's enough to get people sort of excited about it and maybe wanting to check it out. But I also don't want to give too much away. But Michelle, if you wouldn't mind just telling people that maybe this is the first time they've ever heard about this expo, what are some of the things that you guys do provide them to check out, whether it be some of the items that some of the vendors are selling or even some of the awesome events that you guys have planned for everybody?
Yeah, so this is our first 2-day show in Grand Rapids. Last year was 1 day. So it's great to have 2 days now because if anyone who attended last year knows it was huge. Like we joked about like literally every single person that my husband has ever met in his life came. Like it was so much bigger than we could have ever thought the show here would be. So I'm so happy that it's 2 days now. So it's spread out and we literally have the entire convention center. So we have every single hall. So it's like double the space. So that allowed us to book even more vendors. And the vendors that are there are from all over the country, like coast to coast. We have vendors with taxidermy, skulls, bones, dark art, fantasy style art, horror art, kind of like the realm of just like Halloween and weird. We have antique vendors, vintage items, again, all the like spectrum of weird and unusual, goth, like alternative clothing vendors, and basically, I always say, like, if you like Halloween, you're definitely gonna find something there. And we also really try to have something weird for everyone. That's important to me, and I think that's why, like, so many different types of people can come and still find something. Like they can come and, buy art or stickers or stuff like that. And then like an actual like more serious oddities collector can come and find like rare antiquities or different types of taxidermy they've been looking for. So it really is all over the map. And I mean, because of that, I think that's why it's like found so much success. And outside of shopping, though, there's sideshow performances on stage both days. And that's classic sideshow stunts like swallowing swords, walking on glass, human pincushion, like all these great classic sideshow stunts. Outside of that as well, we've added taxidermy classes both days. And actually, I'm sorry, the taxidermy classes on Saturday, and then we have entomology classes on Sunday. So we actually only have like a couple of seats left, I think, in both of those. So they're about to sell out. Saturday is a rat, and then Sunday is entomology, where you get to spread a butterfly and kind of learn the very basics of how to do that.
Yeah, you guys have a lot planned out, and I think that's what makes this such a unique event, because it isn't just checking everything out. It's people actually being able to go out and participate in some of these things, maybe even finding a new hobby. But with this stacked itinerary you guys have planned, do you have any tips, Michelle, for people to really maximize the fun out there? Again, you were talking about how great it is to be able to have 2 days, an extra day now to host this event in Grand Rapids, but even to me, I still don't think 2 days is enough for people to really enjoy everything you guys have planned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because, like I said, last year we only had like 2 halls, and this year we have 4. We have the entire convention center. So it allows for so much more space for people to actually come and spend their day and enjoy the shopping experience, whereas last year was very, very crowded. And so this year we have way more vendors, which is awesome. We have over 150. So it really does take people a couple hours to even get through just the shopping experience of it. And that's really depends on how thorough you shop. If you're like me, I stop and look at like everything. And so, like, it really depends. But people typically stay anywhere from 3 to 4 hours or so and just spend a whole day there, catching a couple shows on stage. They're every 20 minutes. So you really can't miss it. And then if you're doing the taxidermy class, it is all day, but you get different like shopping breaks and stuff and lunch and stuff like that too. So, I mean, really, there's something for everyone to come, and you can stay for an hour and just kind of walk in, grab a few things, or just see a show, or you can like literally stay and shop all day, grab some lunch, grab a couple drinks or something like that. We try to really make it like an experience, so you can actually come, make friends, meet your friends there. Like I always love seeing that too. People just come and just like meet friends they haven't seen in forever.
No, I mean, that's kind of like the perfect segue into this next question for you, Michelle, is just really the hope and sort of the overall goal, I guess, for hosting an expo like this. I mean, you guys travel all across the country all the time, bringing people in to really experience something that maybe they've never gotten the chance to see before for themselves. I mean, is that sort of the goal, the ultimate hope, is to provide something, a unique experience for people like that? Or is it more, or maybe there's something else that, has really stood out to you as something that you always enjoy about this event?
Yeah, I mean, the community aspect that I touched on earlier is so important to me. And that it just coming from me being into this. I mean, to be able to put everyone in a room together that likes the same stuff is like an incredible feeling. And the feedback I get from people like on social media after every show, someone's like, "Oh, I went there and I just haven't seen so many people that look like me," or "I had no idea, my city had people like this here." And so it's like people are coming and discovering their new favorite artist or just meeting like-minded people, and that's like so it totally makes me emotional sometimes because it's like that was my whole goal of this because it's like a personal thing for me. This is like my baby, and we created it, and I'm at every single show, and I get to see this every single time, and I mean, yeah, it's super special, and I love to be able to provide that, and outside of that, the attendee side of it, the vendors too, they don't fit in really anywhere else. It maybe horror conventions, some of them, but this is the first time that they've had a place where they can actually like thrive and people are coming to see exactly what they offer. And that in turn has made so many of these artists like find success in that good feeling of like, wow, people are coming to like buy art from me and they're hanging it up in their home, and then every year they come back and see me in this city, and that's really special too. So
Well, I'm definitely sold. I know that's going to be an awesome time this weekend over at DeVos Place for the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. But Michelle, before we let you go, I want to give you the final word and just let you kind of give your final pitch out to people, I guess, for people that are maybe on the fence, or maybe, again, this is the first time they're hearing about it and now they're a little bit more curious about possibly showing up to this. I mean, what would you say to them to make sure that they do show up this weekend, have a good time, and experience this expo for what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I always say that the Oddities and Curiosities Expo is for lovers of the strange and unusual. And I think just the name of the expo really like draws like curiosity anyway. Like people are like, what, like what am I going to see there? How like like what possibly could I see there? And so I always just encourage people to come. And it's funny because a lot of times, people come with their parents or people who generally you would think like, oh, they're not going to be into this or whatever. And because we try to have something for everyone, like I guarantee if you come, you're going to find something. And I mean, my parents come and they find something and they think like it's super weird. So it's like I feel confident because we work so hard to have something for everyone that literally everyone can come and have fun and, be shocked by the performances, watching someone swallow a sword or something like that, which is definitely not something people see every day. So that's the whole goal, is to show you something that you don't get to see every day. And really just supporting artists and local small businesses and stuff like that that are just different. And that's the whole point, is they don't fit anywhere else. And we give everyone a place to come and fit in and, be themselves. So tickets are still available in Grand Rapids. They're always $10 in advance or 15 at the door. So you can buy at the door as well, but you can save a couple dollars if you buy in advance. And I mentioned earlier too, I think there are actually about 3 seats left in the taxidermy class on Saturday and a few seats in the AM and PM entomology classes if someone is interested in learning taxidermy.
All right, well, awesome stuff. Michelle, thank you so much for stopping by. I do want to remind everybody watching that if you are interested in learning a little bit more about this expo, or like Michelle said, you want to get those tickets to see it ahead of time, or possibly even secure a seat in one of those taxidermy classes, you can definitely find out all of that information right now simply by heading on over to our website, woodtv.com. And if you're watching us on Facebook, we've made it even easier for you to find that information. Just head on down to the description box or the comment section below.